All right, welcome back to the second hour of News Hour. And tonight we speak to the pioneer governor, Kiambu County, William Kabogo. He's here with us already. He's seeking to be the fourth governor of Kiambu County. He was the first governor, now seeking to be fourth. We have a lot of questions for Kabogo tonight. But as tradition on this show tonight, let's take you back in time to the year 2017, to the date today, but not to the day because it was a Thursday. Let's take a look at the headline in the bold newspaper. And this was it, Raila move which could stall election. You're wondering what this was about. Let me tell you, this is about the election papers. You remember Al Ghuraid, with Raila instructing his lawyers to go to court to block Al Ghuraid tender. Kenya stares at the prospects of delayed poll if contract is overturned or hearing takes a long time. That was it. And of course, that time the chairman explained, we wish to remind Kenyans that with only 47 days, today is exactly 47 days left to the election, a court process that seeks to stop a key milestone, that is printing of papers, remaining days will no doubt affect the election, Wafula Chebukati. But that election went ahead and was done in time. And of course, at the top of the bold newspaper then, you see it was all about campaigns. That's Uhuru Stars Central as Raila was in the Rift Valley. It was the days of the campaigns and something happening right now. With slightly just a month left to the election. And there was issues of teachers and all that. But the headline, the bold newspaper, was Raila's move, which could have stalled election. But the election happened, and 120 million were the ballot papers that were to be printed at that time. That's your headline of the bold newspaper back in time. That is 2017, same day today, but the day is different. 47 days left to the election. Well, it's a good place to begin our discussion tonight with the pioneer governor of Kiambu County. He wants to be the fourth governor. Governor, I'd like to ask you from the outset, you're seeking a meeting with the principals of Kenya Kwanza. Did you get this meeting, and how did it go?
Well, we didn't get the meeting. I'm not sure what happened because the joint SGs of our party, that is Tujibebe wa Kenya Party, and then Chama Chakazi wrote to the principals seeking to have dialogue and deliberate on the issues that were of concern to both Chama Chakazi and Jibebe Party. So my Secretary General tells me today he has not received any communication.
In spite of formally writing?
Be that as it may. Yeah, we haven't heard. I only see speculations on social media. People saying that we were supposed to meet on Monday or Tuesday, but we haven't met.
Because you haven't been invited?
Yes, I mean, you can only meet if you're invited.
Okay.
And we wrote to the principals, so that would have been Metangula, ANC, Musalia Mudavadi, the first initial party leaders. But that has not happened. Okay.
What is the real reason? What is happening? Because let's look at the reason why you wanted this audience with the principals of Kenya Kwanza.
We cited just a few things that when it comes to meetings of the coalition in our region, we are not involved in planning. But when it happens in Western region, it's left to Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi. And then we get to the ground and you see them just saying, we are drumming support for UDA. And I'm not UDA, neither is Moses Kuria UDA. So really, we wanted that clarification because we found like we were being sidelined while in our region. Mm-hmm. But nevertheless, so we have moved on. Or rather, I have moved on as the leader of the Tujibebe wa Kenya Party.
Which is interesting because
I have not spoken to Moses Kuria the last 2 days, so I will not be able to say what it is that he's thinking or what it is that he's doing.
But it looks as Moses Kuria has actually rejoined the fray.
I am not sure. Let me not comment on Moses Kuria's moves.
How bad is this, Governor? How bad is it that now you can work as a team? Because you were working towards a common goal with Kenya Kwanza, the president. It looked as though everyone was going to be allowed to fight it out.
Well, that was our imagination that would have done it.
Imagination?
Together. Imagination, yes, that it was going to go smoothly. But it didn't, and so we have moved on. I have moved on. I'm doing my thing. I want to be governor for the people of Kiambu. The people of Kiambu have said Kabogo, which means Afadhali Kabogo, and I'm now concentrating on that.
On your campaign?
Yes, probably. I can't speak for UDA. I don't know what it is the Honorable William Ruto thinks about our participation in Kenya Kwanza, but life goes on.
When you say you have moved on, Governor, have you moved on from Kenya Kwanza, or you moved on from this back and forth that you had with the
I have
UDA?
moved on from pursuing issues that people do not want to reflect on, and I've decided let me now deal with the Kabogo issue, which is the gubernatorial race in Kiambu. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm concentrating on now. And then remember also, we have several presidential candidates. Some of these things are a blessing in disguise, because this afternoon when I was in Githurai, I told the communities there, the people who came for a meeting, actually I got about 3,500 people, a crowd that I did not even imagine would come out in Githurai. Mm-hmm. And I said, in here I know there are votes that will vote for Raila Odinga. And I say, as you do that, please vote for Kabogo as governor of Kiambu.
You are campaigning for
in
Raila
here,
Odinga?
No. In here, are votes for William Ruto under the ticket of UDA. As you vote for William Ruto in UDA, vote for Kabogo. In here, equally, there are votes of Wajakoya. And I was surprised. I was surprised when I mentioned that name. I got jitters, my friend. The amount of acclamation I had this afternoon.
When you mentioned Wajakoya?
Yes. It got me asking questions. But nevertheless, so I'm saying, do your thing, but vote for Kabogo as your governor if you want work done.
Your message was so clear in the initial stages. Vote for Kabogo under Tujibebe, but vote for Kenya Kwanza. That's William Ruto. I mean, this message is divided. Governor, are you telling us you've moved on? You're just being kind.
You know, I'm saying, it takes two to tangle. You will not tell me that the Honorable William Ruto will be asking for, through his deputy designate, for people to vote UDA, and he knows I'm a candidate. Before he would say, will you give me a UDA MCA? Will you give me an MP for UDA? And would you give us a governor for Kenya Kwanza?
Okay.
But now that has changed.
Now it's explicit.
You will find now that the deputy designate is the one who leads this team. MPs come and say, mutatupatia governor wa Kenya Kwanza, I mean wa UDA, mutatupatia MP wa UDA, vile vile mtatupa MCA wa UDA. While the deputy designate is on the same vehicle, and he does not say anything about Kenya Kwanza. So it's like a marriage that is one-sided. So you decide to call it a day, but make the necessary noise.
You are disgruntled, Governor. Why did you?
I'm not disgruntled. I'm good.
You're unhappy with what's happening
I am not,
in Kenya Kwanza?
You know, I'm not surprised. Can we summarize it? I'm not surprised.
Why are you not,
you know,
surprised?
People talk about political conmanship. What do you call this? Is that what you call disgruntled? No. It's just a matter of a fact that that's who people are. That's who politicians in this republic are. Most of them. Deceit is what we cry about all the time. But you know, nyani huona kundule wa mwenzake haoni yake. That is a good saying in Swahili. But I'm not disgruntled. I'm good. Don't I look good?
You didn't expect this to happen to you?
I did not. You know, I'm not surprised it happened.
You have contemplated, you thought about it, you saw it? You saw it coming?
People talked about it.
You saw it coming?
People talked to me about it. Are you sure? Are you sure? I was sure. But I was not surprised.
The president is your friend. There's a time I saw inspection, I think, of your project. You're with the president.
Yes.
I mean, you.
All these guys, Ken, are my friends.
But the fact
they are my friends.
The fact that
but
you
in
didn't
politics,
yes.
in politics,
yes,
I think they say there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies. I don't know why this has become a big deal, Ken.
It's a big deal because you took a position, Governor, that you sold to Kenyans.
I'm saying, it is not a big deal. I said to Kenyans, I have only one reason I can give for joining Kenya Kwanza. And that one reason, Ken, is the fact that the DP agreed with me that on my proposal that additional revenue to counties will be based on population and not anything else.
And Kiambu is the second highest.
And second highest.
Yes.
So we were going to get
the
second highest share. And that would be put in writing. Of course, we have an agreement that we signed. And the agreement was just a general agreement awaiting specifics to be put in the agreement, which unfortunately, until now, they have not been put. So
wait a minute. This agreement with the Deputy President on the
one we did at race course is just a general agreement.
The general one,
yes.
The specific one.
Some meat was supposed to be put into it.
So that meat has not been put in writing?
No, it has not been put. Why do you look surprised?
I look surprised because I have sat on a table with other people who support Kenya Kwanza, and they say, what you talk about with the Deputy President is put in writing, and you take a copy home. When you conclude the discussion.
When we were having the express train going to Kiambu, you heard them say on live TV that there is nothing called Kenya Kwanza. There is no party called Kenya Kwanza. It is UDA, Jibebe, ANC, etc. It's a marriage to me that appears to have been a marriage of convenience, with a lot of honesty, bits of dishonesty, and really it's not a big deal as far as I'm concerned. It is not a big deal. I just want to tell people, be careful. Be careful what you do with your vote. Right now, Ken, people do not see a possibility of capture of counties by a big brother. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an example, either side of Azimio or Kenya Kwanza. The Constitution envisages an autonomous 48 governments. If you read Article 6, Chapter 2, it talks of governments at the national level and county level are distinct. So if you look at the way these big brother parties are trying to form governments at the county level, do you imagine if you have a Jubilee governor and the entire Jubilee MCAs? That county is subordinate to a big brother. True or not true? That is not what we envisaged when we put together the 2010 Constitution. So I want to tell Kenyans, there is a grand plan of big brothers to take over counties, so that if a call comes from big brother to that county, this is what we want you to do. As governor, you cannot fail to do it.
You're captured.
You're captured, yes. Simply because that's not your party. Na vyama viko na wenyewe.
Exactly.
I want to tell Kenyans, localize your politics of counties, because a county is a distinct government.
To take control.
Take control of your county. And if you don't, then you will live to regret.
Tell me something, Governor, when I hear you tonight, I want to draw a distinction. You spoke about politics of deceit and conmanship. There are two people in your party.
In the Kenyan perspective.
In the Kenyan perspective, yes generally. From Kenya Kwanza, is the problem what's happening here? Because you mentioned how they campaign and who they mention. Is the problem the deputy president designate, or the problem is with the deputy president designated to be president?
You know, the way we do our politics, I will send the other underdogs. You know, I will unleash
the
attack dogs.
Yes.
And then smile and say nothing is going on. So any fool out there would think you, Mijungu, are not the problem. The problem is the juniors. But some of us are experienced and too good in this game. Really, people just want to get to power, regardless of what means they use to get to power. And that's the Kenyan way of doing politics. name calling and all those things. You will hear us saying at one point, Mijungo, that why don't we deal with Sarah issues? But just on the same podium, you will find people howling insults at others. When will our Kenyan way of politics mature? When will it happen? So what you're asking me is to apportion blame on what is happening to either the deputy president or his designate deputy. I will not be able to do that because it runs across the board. But remember that these people meet. If you look at our letter that was actually authored by none other but Moses Kuria, he seemed to know more about what was happening that week. He specifically mentioned about a meeting on Monday that we were not invited. I didn't even know there was a meeting. I've never attended those meetings. Then he talks about...
you look like you're right at the top. You would not miss a meeting.
No. I would not know if you're not called.
If you're not invited for it.
Yes, you will not know.
Okay.
But Moses seems to have an idea of what was going on. So those meetings were supposed to be pre-planning for the express train. So what it is that they do out there is what they have talked about in the closed door meeting.
Yes.
And just the theme of today is this and that. The theme was today this and that. Like you will see the theme yesterday where they were, Speaker Muturi. I was very surprised. A guy who we've never crossed paths. He's alluding to me joining Kenya Kwanza, knowing very well they have a governor candidate, and I'm crying baby cry now. So I went to his Twitter handle and I said, JB, you are advising us on coalition. How did you come in and what did you come with? So that we understand. Yes, you know where you stand. So people are blowing this thing, Mijungo, out of proportions. It is nothing. It's absolutely nothing.
The contrary, I think it's the politicians that are blowing it out of proportion. I still have a question regarding, but you said something that people just want to get to power. You said that, including you?
If you're a politician in Kenya, that would fit a politician. I'm not a politician, I'm a leader. If I just want to get to power, I would have clung and I would have hung on to power by being relevant all the time in Kiambu. You never had me speak about Kiambu after I left. I am speaking Kiambu now when they are talking about Afadhali Kabogo. Come and do what it is you know how to do. Come fix our hospitals. They're in a pathetic state. Come do ABCD. You had the Biashara fund that was running very well. Come start it and do it because we are suffering. That's why I'm back there.
Okay, let me
tell you this, Ms. Yongo, and you will not probably believe it.
Yes.
I'm one of those people who, if you give me a chance to rig elections, I will not do it.
You not force your way.
I will not do
to
it
the people
because I want the mandate allowed by the Constitution, which is the vote. And if I know for sure I will not get that vote, I will not bother wasting time and money to look for this seat. But that's not what Kenyan politics is all about. You do anything and everything to get to power. You just talked about the last election and Kivo and what's his name and Chabukati. 47 days to the elections. You missed it out. 3 weeks to the election, he said he was not sure whether he would handle and manage a free, fair, and credible election. Do you remember that? 3 weeks.
There were doubts.
Yes. Yeah. He said it himself. But 1 week later, I don't know what happened.
You were ready for the election.
He was ready, very ready. And he was sure he was going to give a credible
of course, we know how it turned out.
The other day, they just gave us a report about so many people had been moved.
Voter register.
Moved from one place to another. Never explained details. Just said, we have cleaned it up.
I had two commissioners yesterday.
And my question was, how did they realize who had been moved? And who had moved them and for what purpose? You get what I'm saying? And how did they get to know which ones are they and they will return them and to where? And how did they know that these people had not actually migrated from Kiambu to Siaya or someplace? You understand?
Yep.
There were things that were supposed to happen in accordance with the register and the procedure and the process of electioneering. Register inspection, Teams kit inspection,
Section 6 of
all
the
these
Elections
things,
Act,
all these things we've never seen. them reporting on how they have gone through those sections.
That's 90 days to the election. We only have 47.
Correct.
Yes.
When were the teams kit inspected?
No, they tested.
When were the registers merged? And we already knew that there was a problem. O.P. Moffat had the contract before. Somebody else got it. And they could not merge these registers at some point. When were these things sorted? Are we really ready for elections, Ken? Big question.
Big question. And the politicians are asking him.
I'm not sure whether the entire commission and the chairman are reading from the same page.
No, they said
I am hoping that we will have free, fair and credible elections.
They said here that there must be boardroom differences between the commission. They can't share the same ideology. They have to have different ideas in the boardroom. But at the end of the day, they agree and they said they'll be ready. We're observing them. But I want to take you back, Governor, to the issue of Rigathi. You said you cannot apportion blame. It's across.
So did they say at least what sort of boardroom misunderstandings they have?
Opinion. Everyone has different opinions. Everyone has a different opinion when they sit down. That's what they said.
This is a commission. Yesterday. This is a commission that is supposed to be very free and fair and open to Kenyans. Election preparedness should be known by Kenyans every other day. I'm not worried, but I'm saying Kenyans have reason to worry.
Rodil. Okay. Let me take you back to Rigathi. That's a topic that will not finish.
Take me back to
Rigathi.
Rigathi Gachagua.
Yes.
You said our deputy designate.
You said something that you don't want to apportion blame to any specific politician, not the DP, not the DP designate.
Let's just be straight.
Yes.
We've had visits around the country with the deputy president. These things didn't happen in his presence. These things happened that we are complaining about in the presence of his deputy designate.
But
if you want me to apportion blame, I will say it was during his inspection, his tour, during his policing that these things happened, and he did nothing about it. But that doesn't stop there. The way I know how my friend William operates, Gachagua will not just keep quiet.
But remember, you said
and I've seen,
and you kept quiet and looked good.
I've seen, the day before yesterday, so my friend William, my namesake, say that this Rigathi man is a good man.
He was the best out of 5.
Yes. I don't want to go there because that's not.
I'll bring you there. I'm going to bring you there. I'm going to take you there, Governor.
And that it is people within Kenya Kwanza who are jealous. I want to imagine that he was referring to us. But surely, when I speak to him, I'll ask him, are you serious? Really?
You're jealous?
Really? I will remind him one or two things as he involved us in the selection of Gachagua. Then he will pull back those words. And I know whoever is listening, they know what I'm talking about. Okay.
So you have gone to where I wanted to take you. You called Rigathi a dictator. Plain, you said it. He's a dictator.
Yes.
Yes, he's a dictator.
Who's a dictator?
You tell me.
A guy who pushes things
to happen the way they want.
Is the way they want, regardless of whatever.
Can you be pushed, Governor? Can someone push Kabogo?
That is why we are where we are. Because you can't push Kabogo to that corner. You think, Mijungo, I would have sat there and they start singing this UDA song as I clap for them. Is that what you expect Kabogo to do? Never. It's not going to happen.
It's civil, why I said no. It looks civil if you would have done that. Well, you kept quiet and not taken the mic.
Well, sometimes it is what it is, and you have to deal with things spur of the moment.
And that's all you did?
And that's what I did. And see the effects. People are running.
Have you seen him after that?
Who?
You deputy president designate?
No, I have not. I've seen him on TV.
Not at a campaign, because you said you're not campaigning again.
No, we haven't gone to a campaign together.
Governor.
Because the same medicine will be vetted on me. You know what I'm saying?
In Kiambu.
I'll go there and I'm like, hey, UDA. And then I'm supposed to say what? Harambe UDA. No. Remember, I'm party leader of a very democratic party, to Jibebe wa Kenya Party, which has candidates all over the world. And is doing very well being 6 months old.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not want to enter into clash with other parties about how they run their business. I just said simply, Kenya Kwanza was a formation of many parties. So when you decided you don't need us, you should have told us. It's as simple as that. You don't show us mother on the road show. You know what I'm saying? And we're there wondering, is this a plan or is it a mistake? You keep quiet on the first stage, you go to the next one, the same thing is repeated. And you're like, what is this? Oh, this is a plan.
Governor, I hold it. Can't you just leave and campaign independently?
I'm doing so.
And campaign for a candidate, because you don't like this formation from what you're telling me.
If you look at my wall,
yes,
you will see I'm happy and running. I'm doing what it is that I know how to do best. You see what I'm saying? If you want me to join a coalition another time, I would have to do a few things, groundwork, to know whether I really want to join a coalition or not.
Okay.
Yes.
There are sentiments, and I'll call it the way they call it. They call it the Martha effect. How much has Martha's entry into the Azimio politics
It
helped
depends on
Raila
what
Odinga?
side of the divide you're looking at, the situation. But if you look at it from an open mind perspective, you would be lying to yourself if you say it didn't have an effect. I'm sure you're a guy who's on social media every other time, and you know both sides of the divide. That is the Azimio side and the Kenya Kwanza side. Each has hundreds of keyboard warriors. What do you see all the time when you open up the issue of Martha? You find them saying, who would make a better deputy president between Martha Karua and Rigathi Gachagua? It's there in the open. If you look at the polls, if they're anything to go by, and it's difficult to know genuine and fake polls, you will find that Azimio has gone up 4% since then. Of course, the other side will say she has no effect. But if you're a true politician, you should be able to tell.
If you're honest to yourself.
If you're honest to yourself, you should be able to tell that it's picking up. The other thing that people are ignoring, and I don't know for what reason, is the effect of Wajakoya. I want to tell Kenyans, you will be surprised. If what I'm saying out there is going to be translated into votes, boom. This is another story.
Now that you say that, I'll bring you back here. Now that you say that, on Kivumbi on Monday, we take our team to the ground, and usually just before the show ends at 8, they do a mini poll, and they're asked first, who will you vote? And everyone supported. In fact, Deputy President William Ruto and Raila Odinga featured very limited times in their lips. But when they were told to cast their votes, Wajakoya never got a single vote. That's what happened. We did that on Monday in Kasarani.
I'm saying,
yes,
there are polls that are done through phone calls. There are polls that are done physically by talking to Kenyans. But when there's an excitement of some nature, that excitement may be with or without votes. But if what it is they are saying out there is going to be translated into votes, this may cause a runoff. It may.
It may.
Yes.
You're an experienced politician.
Who has monopoly of political knowledge? No one.
No, but you're an experienced politician.
That's why I'm saying I've seen it the last 5 days.
Do you agree?
Today in Githurai, when I said, please, I know there are voters here who will vote for Raila Odinga, please vote for me. I know there are voters here who will vote for William Ruto, please vote for me. I also know equally that there are voters here who vote for Wajakoya, my friend. The noise that came out of that field, I did not understand what it was. Be that as it may, a second round won't be something really bad. We need to experience these things. They're in our constitution. Yes.
We need to know what a second round would mean.
Experience, yes. We've seen nations going through it. Nahapa, we could do a few things. We could fix a few problems.
We know what it takes to win
We could fix a few problems.
If we would go to a random, this makes you happy. You're smiling.
Yes, it does.
The message would have been different a few weeks ago, probably. But Governor, still on my question, why don't you just come out and be honest with what's happening and just
I'm very honest.
It's not happening.
Why
on
do you
the
have
other
a
side.
feeling? Is there something really?
I think you're holding back.
No.
I think
is
you're
there something
holding back.
you really want me to say?
I think you're
that
holding
I
back.
haven't said?
Yes, I think you are grossly unhappy with what has happened. The way you've been shortchanged in Kenya Kwanza, you are unhappy. But because you need votes from the other side, because part of your supporters in Kiambu.
Can I remind you?
Yes.
47 days to the last election, I was leading seriously in the polls, some places above 80. And we went to nominations, and I went through some stuff. So I'm an experienced fellow in this field. And what I felt then is not what I feel today, because I didn't go for nominations this time. I got fixed there.
Yeah.
And I thought, now that I have a party, it will be difficult to fix me. If I didn't open my eyes 2 weeks ago, I'd have been fixed. But I'm out of the fix.
I'll ask you this question. We are out of 2017 election, but it is said that the deputy president fixed you in 2017. That's why you didn't get the vote.
Let me not say he fixed me. He was in charge of nominations.
Yeah.
Yes.
If he was in charge, he definitely was
was-
behind what
he
happened.
was
It
in
was a
charge.
fiasco, Governor.
It was serious.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, but it's water under the bridge. We've come.
Exactly.
We've grown out of that
Because
situation.
we go back to my initial question.
Yes.
What took you to Kenya Kwanza? You knew all this. You said you had people talk about it. I mean, you still
Did I
trusted
tell you
him.
initially that there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies in politics?
You should go back to school. And
Ken.
Yes.
These people are my friends.
Yes, all of them.
I'm talking about the Honorable William Ruto, the Honorable President Kenyatta. If you speak to them separately today about 2017, they'll tell you different stories. One will tell you, Kabogo, where your problems are. Please don't blame me. I was just sitting there under instructions of my boss to oversee this. And the other side will say, was I there? Who was there? You see what I'm saying? So it's you to make up your mind and how to apportion blame.
Okay.
But why do we want to bog ourselves down with what happened then?
In 2017.
It's part of politics.
And it's part of a history.
And it's happening now.
History
You've seen
informs us.
people going to court
Yeah.
about nominations. This time I was not affected by nominations. You still see people now talking about degrees in court, talking about this and the other. And sometimes we are limited in saying things we would want to say. But that is fodder for another day.
You know, Governor, in the last 5 years, I have hosted you 5 times. On a
Really?
one-on-one. Yes. I
You
know,
love
5
me that much.
You make a lot of sense in Kenyan politics.
Yes.
So, yes. So, another direct question. Why didn't you vote for Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy president when it was happening?
Why didn't I vote?
Yeah, why didn't you choose
How did
him?
you know I didn't vote?
You didn't.
How did you know I didn't vote?
You didn't vote. Okay. Why did you vote for Rigathi Gachagua?
I actually voted for Kindiki.
Kithure Kindiki.
And he got, I know this is not my business, he got 27 votes.
It's the truth. It's not your business, but
It's
the
not
truth.
my business,
Yes.
but he got 27 votes. I think RG got 3. And the Honorable Speaker got 1.
Muturi.
This was Moses Kuria's vote. Because
Oh
Moses
yeah,
Kuria
he
said,
said it publicly. He voted for
But
TB.
again, Ken, this is not. I'm a governor candidate.
Yeah.
It was my duty to select my running mate, but William Ruto opened up for us to help him, and we did what we did, and we told him this is what we think. But at the end of the day, it was his duty
To pick.
a running mate. And when he picked RG, we said, yes, Sawa, we will support.
It was a hard swallow, but you took it.
What would we have done? It was his call. He was just being a nice guy to listen to views, but at the end of the day, it is Gachagua he wanted, and we respected his decision. And I'm speaking as I would even if I was still, we were still in bed with him. So it was his call, yeah? And if he made a mistake, he has to live with it. If he didn't make a mistake, good for him.
Okay.
Yes, it's his baby.
Is there some magic that can be done? It's 47 days to the election for you to go back to that bed that you just mentioned. Is there some magic? Is there something that can be done?
You know, we gave our letter. They respond to it. They deal with it. Let's see how it goes.
So there's a possibility?
I'm not going to say yes or no.
Why?
It depends.
You're an honest person.
I'm saying it depends. If they say, if they, you know, push the middle finger, I would say it's okay. Let's move. Okay. If they say let's dialogue, we'll dialogue.
Okay.
Yes, but it depends on what it is they are saying. And I said before, when these things happened, I said, I am not in this coalition to be given positions.
Yeah.
You remember when it was evident that Musalia and, what's his name?
Moses
Wetangula were given 30%, and I was asked what's my take. I said I didn't go there for positions. I was taken there by the division of revenue, additional revenue.
Which you never got?
Which I was promised we'll get.
You never got?
Which I, until today, I'm not sure it's there. Promise, word of mouth, he did promise.
Nothing written?
He did promise.
An experienced politician
no,
like you
mentioned, it was mentioned during Rigath's inauguration as the designate DP. It was in his speech. So I believe that it was going to happen. I still think it should happen. If it doesn't, then Kenyans will judge our attitude and the things that we do vis-a-vis the things that we say.
Okay. Your friend, President Uhuru Kenyatta, initially just...
Was this interview just about Kenya Kwanza?
No. It's not about... This is now general.
Yeah.
It's not about Kenya Kwanza.
Yes.
But your friend Uhuru Kenyatta said...
My president.
Your president and my president
Yes.
said that they will hit the ground running once the campaigns begin.
Yes.
Then Martha was pulled out of... the hat, and then the president just...
So pulled out of?
The hat. Yes. Abracadabra, and then we have Martha Karua, because there were other people who we thought will make to that position.
Yes.
But eventually Martha Karua was chosen, and for their own reason. Then the president retreated. And this is the president.
Yes.
He is the son of the soil.
Yes.
And they say him campaigning for Raila Odinga, who is his candidate, he's made it clear, would have dented Raila's campaign. Do you think the president still has hold? He's still the kingpin? I know kingpins, new ones are coming up.
You're looking at one.
Only one? Oh, I'm looking at one. I'm going to ask you that, but what do you think?
Yes.
How much has it dented that? Would it have dented the campaign or contributed to the success of that campaign?
You know, again, politics of deceit, politics of conmanship, politics of I have to oppress so-and-so for me to rise. There was so much venom put in central Kenya about President Kenyatta's performance.
Who did?
I mean, who else?
Okay.
It is the other side, isn't it? Let's call a fact a fact. It's a fact.
Yeah.
So if that was to hold water, that people are upset with President Kenyatta for one reason or the other, bringing him on board to campaign would have accelerated that feeling. I'm saying this hypothetically because I'm not too sure.
You are
as a politician.
You are experienced
yes,
politician.
That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
And going it alone, Martha and Raila, is probably healthy and good for them, because that suspicion of Uhuru is hated and he will come and he will spoil things is no longer an issue.
Yeah.
As far as that end is concerned.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it. Now they talk about Baba and Mama, and this other side they talk about bottom up. And but one thing, I may get into trouble if I say this, but it's okay. I mean,
you're used to trouble.
I'm used to trouble.
Yes, you can take it.
You know the earlier Katiba, if the president for one reason or the other, as envisaged in law, would be incapacitated to continue running office. The law as was then was 90 days the deputy or the vice president takes over.
As we
for 90 days and an election is held. I want to tell Kenyans, I'd say always, I'm not a witch, neither am I a prophet, but I see. Let me just move away from the presidency first and say, let's talk about the governor, the governor's office. You saw what happened in Nyeri.
Yeah.
The late, can't remember his name. He died, I think, 3 months after elections. And the deputy took over for the remainder of the term. That's the constitution. I want to propose fairly that governors always stay worried that their deputies will scheme something to move them out of office so they could take over. And we have seen it happening. We've seen impeachments that are engineered by deputy governors to get
even the open fights. We can mention so many countries.
You can see
open fights, yes.
So to treat that, we need to amend that constitution, and I will move this amendment myself, God willing.
You sponsor it?
I will sponsor it and start taking signatures immediately after elections, such that if the remainder of the term is more than 12 months, then the deputy takes over for 90 days and they go back to the electorate. Because no deputy governor will try and remove a governor if they know that they will go back to the
face the election. Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Equally, if the president is incapacitated for one reason or the other, as envisaged in the law, and the remainder of the period is more than 12 months, then we seek fresh mandate from the electorate. Because it is not the deputy who was elected.
It was a joint ticket, Governor.
It's a joint ticket, but who is the president? We will go to the ballot on the 9th to elect a president and his running mate.
Okay.
We are not going to the ballot to elect Gachagua or Martha Karua.
It's the president.
It is the president.
Okay.
If they say that the election is about Martha Karua and Rigathi Gachagua, things will be very different. And I know you know it. And I know everyone listening to us is true. They know it. And this is why it's been a campaign tool for one side to try and benefit from the fact that they think one is incapable. You understand? So to be fair to the president, to be fair to the governor, this one we missed something.
Makes a lot of sense, Governor.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Tanzania, the president
Suluhu
Hassan picked it from
Magufuli.
Do we want to leave this thing open? Do we want the governors to work?
But there was a reason why the Constitution was addressing that. Because it's the president, our new Constitution, the president, deputy president, Speaker of the National Assembly, that's the civil, then it can go to the military if it's militarized. So,
but
I mean, there's a reason why the Constitution did that.
We've experienced, we didn't have a devolution before. We did know that deputy governors would worry and try schemes to remove the governors. You've seen the Waitito case. He claims, or people claim, or even MCAs for that matter, and I'm not saying this because I like Waitito or I hate Nyoro. I'm saying it is open secret out there. They didn't have the numbers.
Okay.
But they kicked him out.
They kicked him out.
It is an open secret. I am not saying...
That's your county, you would know.
That's a county.
Yeah,
I mean, you hear them talk.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, that is politics.
Okay.
But if the deputy governor then knew that it was 3 years to the elections and he would have to go to the ballot, they would never have done that thing.
I would say true.
So why can't we fix it?
That preposition, I think...
So why can't we fix it?
The lawyers are hearing, and you're going to sponsor it. Whether
if William Ruto is incapacitated for one reason or the other, a year before, touch wood, I would hate to imagine, but Rigathi Gachagua would be president for the remainder of the term. Equally, if Raila Odinga was incapacitated, touch wood, I don't hope it will, Martha Karua will take over for the remainder of the term. Is it who people elected? Are you aware that 99.9% of Mama Mboga, they do not have these details? We are ignorant of the law ourselves as Kenyans.
Governor, is there another reason?
For what?
For making this proposition?
No. I just told you. You may think, you remember my beginning. In the beginning, I said I may get into trouble.
When you said?
When I say.
But
you equally share the same sentiments.
Yeah, it's a true thing.
It makes a lot of sense.
It's a true thing, yeah.
If you want the governors to deliver, remove the threat.
Yeah.
Make it
Constant
open
threat.
so that once you kick me out, you will face the people. If the remainder of the term is less than 12 months, then no need to spend money to do an election.
Okay. The issue between the governor aspirants of Kiambu County is the next kingpin. You agree? The next governor definitely becomes the kingpin
of
your region, Mount Kenya region of Kiambu. I mean, Europe. You are a good politician. You've been there for a while. Moses Kuria has been there.
I am not sure that that is really true, because why Kiambu, whose governor, becomes the kingpin? Because Uhuru is the president and is from Kiambu? I don't think that's what it is. As we said here, I've gone around with these people and I've said, don't worry when the president leaves.
The someone.
There is no vacuum.
Including Jimmy
We're
Wanjigi.
here, I am here.
Including Jimmy Wanjigi.
That is his story. I'm here.
Are you the most experienced politician right now in
it depends on sorry, excuse my coughing. I told you I was
you told me you had a cold,
but not COVID. I've checked COVID severally.
Okay.
And if it is, we'll deal with it. You're asking about most experienced.
Yes. And does that count when they're choosing the next kingpin?
You know, popularity is what it takes. Who speaks mostly for them? Who do they know? Who do they understand as a lion of them? So there are many factors. Recently, the Muzees Council, Kikuyu Council, and the others had a survey to try and look for who would replace Uhuru Kenyatta. And I think out of 9, there was a number 1 to 9. And it was done 3 times, from what I know. Fortunately, I came top.
All the 3 occasions?
Top.
Okay.
The other positions were changed. But of course now I start getting, stones thrown at me right now because of saying that. But it's a fact, Ken Michungo. But really, that's not an elective position. The kingpin is a story that happens in society about who would lead us in the event Uhuru leaves. And I've said, I have volunteered.
To lead?
Yes.
And it's your right? It's your right?
Very much so.
It's your right?
Yes.
All right, Governor.
And I've said, if you think I'm not, then when we have a tour, let's do an acclamation request from the public. We do as many as of the opinions there.
Governor Kabogo is the next kingpin?
Yes.
We listen to what they have to say.
I've spent the last 5 years just fighting for our people.
Okay.
I've spent the last 5 years doing civic education to our people. I said before, if we don't watch, we'll find ourselves in a very tight spot as people of the mountain.
Okay. I have 2 questions I want to ask you. Yes. But my colleague, I know you know Jeff, really wants to know, what's your opinion about the governors who have concluded their terms and they're running for Senate? Just briefly, what's your opinion about it?
Do I want to get into this?
No, just your opinion, because you might conclude your term.
Who do they think they are? What is it they want to do? You had 10 years at the apex of a county. What is it you want to go to the Senate to do? To cover your ass? To cover yourself? I'm sorry.
What I said, we're okay.
To cover yourself?
Yes.
You understand? You understand?
Yes.
What is it you want to go and do? Huh? take a trial to become president, and if you don't make it, just go home, retire.
Do something.
Go do something.
Do business.
Else. Yes.
So
it's unfortunate.
you wouldn't do that.
It's unfortunate. Some of these people are my friends. No, I would not. I'm done.
Member of Parliament, how many? 15 years?
2 terms.
2 terms.
Yes.
Then governor 1 term. Now this is the second term.
Yeah? Then I go to the Senate to do what, boss?
Is it consecutive terms, or you can do another 2 terms?
It is 2 terms.
2 terms.
Yes.
So the first will and the second will be
yes.
deemed to have served 10 years.
Would have gone to Mombasa and made it. It would just have been the last one.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to play the video of the week. When we come back, there's something you said at the beginning, and I'd like us to conclude with it. You said, vote with your eyes open. I'd like to conclude with that. But first, let's take a look at our video of the week. This is interesting.
Na nimesikia leo walaghai wengine wakitamuka juu ya kujiuzuru kwangu, wakasema yale walisema. Nimwambie huyo waziri wa agriculture ambaye ako na kesi ya wizi katika mahakama, aende amalize hiyo kesi yake ya wizi. Tunaelewa hataki mahakama ibadilike, sababu ikibadilika kesi yake itamalizika na ukweli utajulikana.
Parliament this time.
What was that? I couldn't hear some of the things.
No, it was a tiff between Martha Karua as the Minister for Justice then and William Ruto, the Minister for Agriculture.
And she's saying huyo waziri ako na kesi ya wizi.
Ako na kesi ya anataka tutoe kotini kwa sababu anajua tukibadilisha kotini kesi zake zitaisha. I mean, it started from afar. Now they are in the ballot again, and you know, but you were in Parliament then.
The Iron Lady.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yeah. That was the 8th Parliament, if I'm not wrong.
No, I was in the 9th Parliament.
You're in the 9th Parliament.
9th and
10th. Okay.
And I had a short break. When
actually, that was the 9th Parliament when Kibaki, second term of Kibaki.
Yes, that's when she was Justice Minister.
Justice Minister, yes.
Yes, I don't recall that very well, but Iron Lady always did, always surprised us. You know, she's the only one who walked out of Moi. She walked out on Moi. She's a tough lady. I don't want to get into what it is they were arguing about, but again, in Kenya, whether you are in court or not, it doesn't make a difference. You will get elected. You know, the law is good when it suits you. Right now, you can see what's happening with this Sakaja thing. One day, the Commission on Higher Education says this, they pull out the next day, and the court says this. But what is an issue?
What is the substance?
The substantive matter here is whether he graduated. But we've made it a pull and, you know, court battles.
Supremacy contest.
And of course, passing the buck that we don't have the capacity to investigate a degree. Why then did we put this as a condition? Why did we put this as a condition? You know, we have things we put in law that you need to declare your worth. You understand? We declared in the 9th Parliament. We declared in the 10th Parliament. Nobody ever opened those envelopes. In Mombasa, President Kenyatta and William Ruto agreed they would go through what you call a lifestyle audit. Why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen? And in 2012, we know people who didn't have a penny.
And now you can't reach them.
And now you cannot reach them. They own half of Nairobi. This is the country we are in. Deceit, conmanship, bravado, hizo vitu hizo. Kenya, hiyo ndio nchi yetu jameni.
Okay. Let's take a few minutes. I'll give you a minute or so to talk to your voters because they're watching. They're right here. Kiambu is just right here. But tell me, when you mentioned that Kenyans should vote with their eyes open in this election, what exactly are you telling Kenyans?
You know, let me tell you. Again, I'll get into trouble. I hate getting into trouble all the time.
Let me get into trouble. I'll get you off trouble.
You know the chances of a handshake after the 9th. We know the candidates. We know Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga. We know Mheshimiwa William Ruto. I'll tell you this now. Come after elections, a handshake is imminent. It will be impossible for one to run government while the other one is outside. So vote, and vote knowing that that's a possibility. So the people of the mountain, the people of my region, where will you be? Vote wisely. And vote knowing that anything is possible. Also vote knowing that state capture is real for counties. Wanjiku, do not vote and then start crying that no, this governor does not listen to us. This governor takes instructions from Karen. And when I say Karen,
they're both in Karen. Both
yes,
of them.
so
they're both in Karen.
I got you on this one.
Yes,
I really got you on this one. So our instructions are coming from Karen how we will run the county. If you want the county to be run at the county, please vote for the county. You get what I'm saying? Na hii story ya suti is a big problem. We are here where we are because of the suits.
That's why we're wearing a broken one today.
Always.
Governor.
The problems that are of Jubilee,
yes,
are problems that were brought by this maneno ya suti. So Kenyans, enjoy voting for the right person. Vote for the person.
Your 1 minute. Kiambu is listening.
Kabogo is still strong. I'm willing to come back and do work for you. Mimi nitawafanyia kazi. Hizo mahospitali mnaenda kutafuta gloves, sijui madawa na nini, tutarekebisha mara moja. Lakini ya muhimu ni pesa ya biashara. Lazima tuinue Mkenya. Lazima tuinue Mkenya. Kwa sababu shida yetu ni njaa, shida yetu ni ukosefu wa ajira, ukosefu wa pesa, ukosefu wa mahala pa kulala, ukosefu wa madawa kwa mahospitali. Hizi shida zote tutazimaliza tukipunguza ufisadi. Kama sasa Kiambu tunalia sijui 3 billion ilipotea na fulani, 1.9 billion assets zimeshikwa, na mimi nitaandika barua niseme hizo pesa isiwachiliwe. Hiyo pesa ni ya Kiambu, lazima irudishwe Kiambu. Let us vote wisely bila mvurutano. Mimi nakuomba kura yako kwa unyenyekevu. Ukinipa kura nitashukuru. Usiponipa kura usinipige. Hii maneno si ya vita. Kisha unipe maombi. Na nashukuru.
Thank you so much, Pioneer Governor Kiambu County, William Kabogo. Thank you so much for coming tonight and sharing your perspective. These are national issues at the end of the day. I mean, they go down to every county.
I've hurt no one. I've been very kind today.
You had a call, you wouldn't.
No. I mean, you know, these guys are your friends, so really you don't hit below the belt.
Yes.
But we need to be careful about, you know, doing things just for the sake of doing it.
Okay.
It is important to do the right things as opposed to doing things right.
Okay. That's where we end tonight on News Hour. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ken Mijungu. On behalf of the whole team, we'll do this again next week, same place, same time. Remember, over the weekend, we are in Nakuru with Kivumbi 2022. We are doing a debate of the governors. All the 6 of them will be joining me on that podium at Midland Hotel in Nakuru. That's on Sunday and Monday on Kivumbi. Thanks so much for watching. We'll do this again. And of course, we begin broadcasting and we keep them in check. Another great son of Kenya will be here, or daughter of Kenya will be here next week. Have a good night and God bless.
I advocate for responsible playing. Why do you want to play like 10 times?